Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're here right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me again today. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, or feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And this is your Impact Wrestling news and notes for March 10th. So Honor No More members, are they signed to Impact Wrestling or are they not signed with Impact Wrestling? Well, we know PCO is, but Fightful has learned that some of the former Ring of Honor talent in Impact Wrestling have signed. Again, I said Fightful. I'm getting this from Fightful.com. Just want to give them the credit for it before I go on. So Fightful has learned that some of the former Ring of Honor talent in Impact Wrestling haven't signed with the company yet. We'd heard that a couple of talent were still technically under Ring of Honor deals when they came into Impact Wrestling and had not officially signed deals as of yet. Matt Taven was one of the rumor names, though attempts to reach out to him did not yield a comment on the matter. We've also reached out to Mike Bennett on the matter. As I said earlier, PCO was signed months ago to Impact Wrestling, but his Ring of Honor deal was already up at the end of November. Vincent, who has also been working with Impact, was one of the last deals up as well. So as of right now, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Vincent doesn't look like that they are signed to Impact Wrestling as of right now. Again, as I mentioned, PCO has signed a while ago. I think that's why we're kind of seeing PCO maybe break away from Honor No More. He's feuding with Jonah right now. Kind of the baby face right now in the feud. But Bennett, Taven, and Vincent, and there's no update here on Kenny King, but I'm assuming that he's not signed to Impact Wrestling yet as well. So hopefully Impact Wrestling will sign Taven, Bennett, and Vincent to deals. I think they're all three of them are very talented. I think they fit in well with Impact Wrestling. So hopefully they will sign their names on the dotted line soon for Impact Wrestling. So Josh Alexander spoke with Sean Ross Sapp and Jimmy Van of Fightful.com. And Josh Alexander actually put over the working relationship with AEW and Impact and said that he was potentially penciled in to go to AEW. But Christian, he was feuding with while he was feuding with Christian over the Impact Wrestling World Title, he was penciled in to go to AEW, but Christian was hurt and was written off television. So here's Josh Alexander, a quote from Josh Alexander. I thought it was cool. I was a huge fan of Kenny. Anybody who was a pro wrestler should be a huge fan of Kenny. Of course, talking about Kenny Omega. What he's able to do in a ring can only highlight us by having matches with him and competing, even though we weren't winning or anything like that. The relationship I thought was good for what it was. I thought we could have gone over there to highlight some of our guys, but that never materialized, which was disappointing. There was talk of me going pre-Bound for Glory and just being in the audience like, this is the guy challenging Christian at Bound for Glory. But I think Christian hurt his shoulder and was written off TV around that time. And they also indicate here that Josh Alexander has signed a multi-year deal with Impact Wrestling, which we already know. But be interesting. It would have been interesting. Josh Alexander heading over to AEW. Looks like he was just going to be sitting in the crowd, and they would say, "Yeah, it's the guy that's challenging Christian." But who knows? Maybe he could have done a run-in or something like that. But that would have been cool to see Josh Alexander on AEW television during that feud with Christian for the pre-Bound for Glory, the Bound for Glory feud with Christian for the Impact Wrestling World Title. Would have been cool, but never materialized. Christian, unfortunately, was injured and was written off TV. So Josh Alexander's appearance on AEW, as we know, never happened. It would have been cool though if it did. We have another match added to the multiverse of matches, Impact Wrestling's multiverse of matches, which is going to be April 1st, if I'm not mistaken. April 1st at WrestleCon. Friday, April 1st at WrestleCon. The newest match that has been signed to this, that has been added to the show, Deonna Purrazzo's Champ Challenge is returning to that show. So Deonna Purrazzo defending one of her titles, either the Ring of Honor Women's title or the AAA Reign of the Reigners title. She will be defending it at the multiverse of matches. I can only assume it's going to be someone that's not with Impact Wrestling. And that's kind of what they're going with right now, with the Good Brothers taking on the Briscoes, Impact versus Ring of Honor. We have Eddie Edwards versus Tomihiro Ishii, which is going to be just pure fire. But it's being billed as Noah, Pro Wrestling Noah, because as we know, Eddie Edwards turning on Impact Wrestling. He's not going to represent Impact Wrestling, so he's representing Pro Wrestling Noah. Tomihiro Ishii, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Tomihiro Ishii, just an incredible talent. Should be a fantastic match. And of course, we have the Ultimate X match as well. I'm sure we're going to see various individuals, whether they're with Impact Wrestling, whether not Impact Wrestling. I wouldn't be surprised if Aiden Prince is involved in that match as well. So multiverse of matches is turning out to start to look like a really good show. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be on Fight TV pay-per-view. Looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll be on Impact Ultimate Insiders as well. If not, I'll just order it on Fight TV. It's okay. Definitely want to see this when it's going to be again Friday, April 1st in Dallas, WrestleCon, and there's going to be a lot more matches. I'm sure they're going to announce. But as of right now, Deonna Purrazzo is defending one of her titles in the Champ Challenge at the Multiverse of Matches. Okay, so tonight is Impact Wrestling on Access TV, and let's run down the show. Here's what's going to be featured tonight. We're going to get Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Tasha Steelz and Impact Wrestling Knockouts tag team champions The Influence and Savannah Evans taking on The Inspiration, Mickie James and Chelsea Green, which is a little odd. I thought Chelsea Green was injured, but I guess she's not. They had her broken wrist post. I guess her wrist is healed, and she is participating in this match. Josh Alexander returns tonight. John Schuyler versus Ace Austin versus Crazy Steve. The winner enters the X Division title bout at Rebellion. The fallout of Sacrifice in the Bullet Club addresses the Impact Zone tonight. And opening tonight's show is going to be Josh Alexander promo in the ring. That's going to kick off tonight's Impact on Access TV. So Josh Alexander opens the show tonight with a promo as he kicks off tonight's Impact Wrestling on Access TV. And that will do it for this edition of Impact Wrestling News and Notes. Again, this is Impact Wrestling News and Notes for March 10th, 2022. And I'll be back tomorrow with another edition of Impact Wrestling News and Notes right here on Shooting Up North, as heard on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. So that said, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. Watching the news. Anything breaks, of course, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.